12 kids in a 4-room house with a kitchen addition. They didn't have no indoor plumbing, and I think they did have water eventually run to the kitchen.
They didn't at first. They had a well right outside.
The well was out in the front yard.
Front yard.
And they had a tank there, and there was a pipe that run from the bottom of the tank into the bathroom.
Wow.
They took their showers in under that well. There was no hot water. And they didn't run to town whenever they got ready for bread, milk, and all. They didn't go to town and get it. It took them 5 days to go to town and back. And that's 26 miles.
That's great.
I mean, you can just stop and realize, I mean, it's hard to visualize that in the day we're living in today. But that's the way they lived. And it just, I don't know, the 12 kids now, if everybody would look at their pictures, you'll see there's 6 older kids and 6 younger kids. And I think they did that so they could have help on the farm. And I mean, it was just so, it's unbelievable, the things they got. Now, you ought to have heard, had Eric, Burton, and Skeezix and listened to some of the tales they could tell you. I'm not going to get into those.
Well, that's good. This is the type of stuff. If y'all just want to talk, this is what this whole event is about: is sharing family, sharing thoughts about what went on, memories that you have, and what we can do is we can just go around instead of this would probably be even better. You just go around. If anybody wants to share something that they remember, I'll just walk around with the camera and.
Joe ought to remember a whole lot of that.
Okay. Too. Joe, do you have anything to add to this?
Well, I know when we'd go out to Lohn, Mother would show where they camped on their way to town and on their way back.
Mm-hmm.
They'd go a day, they'd camp there, go another day to get to Brady. Took them a day to do their shopping.
Wow.
Day back to the campsite, and then back home. It's 5 days, round trip.
Hard to believe.
You know, and it's what, 15, it's 25, 30 minutes out there?
Yeah.
In a car now?
Yeah. Janice ought to be able to remember a lot of that too. What happened with grandmother and granddaddy when the kids were all young, when Uncle John was a boy?
Well, I don't remember too much about that.
You never heard no tales?
One that Grandma Lohn, my mother told me about. Grandma Lohn would set the table for breakfast the night before, and she would take the cereal bowls and turn them upside down, and she might put a frog or something under the cereal bowl, and so when they turned it over, they would have a treat. You know, something funny.
That's
I don't
great.
think Grandpa Lohn liked that.
She was
Grandmother Lohn.
Yeah.
Grandmother Lohn had a very great sense of humor.
Oh yes, she did.
And she could be just as dry with it as anything you ever saw. And Uncle Lewis, Aunt Irene and Uncle Paul had just got married and moved to Texas. And Uncle Lewis was up, and his wife were up visiting. And Uncle Lewis, grandmother, Aunt Irene, and Uncle Lewis's wife were going to Brady. Well, there used to be an old deserted house up there, not too far from the place. And Uncle Lewis got to telling Aunt Irene about that axe murderer that was in that house. And how he had escaped from the mental institution and was on his way home to get revenge of the people that sent him down there. And this went on for 2 or 3 days, and it was about 2 weeks after that Aunt Irene finally said something to Uncle Paul about it, and he like to fell out laughing. He said, no, it wasn't nothing like that ever happened around here. But said grandmother never cracked a smile.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
That's just what happened.
That's great. David, you have anything?
Not now.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Anybody? Anybody else? How about Georgia?
Oh, no, what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to tell us stories that you remember from when you were growing up.
Well, regarding
Your family? This is all about the family.
well, I can tell you about my cousins.
Okay.
That sounds dirt.
Well, yeah, now, you see, there was 4 of them, 5 of us, 6. Some of us were all the same age, like Kay, Patsy, Tam, and so forth. We were all the same. Well, one time, Kay and Patsy and Tam and all came to the house. We'd been down to stay with they and Annie, Pee Wee and I. And then when we went home, Kay and I went, and Patsy came down from Abilene. So here we are, all girls. I don't really know if I should tell them.
That probably makes it even better.
But anyway, we went out to the tank, and some of them decided they'd go skinny dipping. Well, Daddy walked up on them.
Oh my gosh.
And he went to the house, told Mama and Grandmother Lohn where they were and what they were doing. And so, anyway, we got in, but we always laughed about Patsy. She kept saying, she had on a bathing cap, and she said, "See, Grandmother, I didn't. My hair's dry." But don't y'all tell Patsy I told that.
That's a great story. That's exactly what we're looking for. Exactly. Let's see. Who else do we have around here? Where's Joe Karen? Okay. Joe Karen. You want to do tomorrow? Okay. Okay, we'll do tomorrow then. Okay, think of some things though. Seriously. Hey, Maddie. Okay.
About my mom.
Hold on just a second. Francis has one about Louise.
Mother one time told me that when she would come home from school every day, Grandmother Lohn would be so lonely and just waiting for her to come home because she'd been at the house all day long by herself. And she always had out the checkerboard. And Mother hated to see that checkerboard because they played checkers every day and Grandmother Lohn beat her badly every day. Every day she'd walk up and there would be the checkerboard and Grandmother Lohn just waiting for her.
That's great. That's great. Anybody else? Joe Frank?
I remember a story that Mom told about Uncle Lewis. When Uncle Lewis volunteered for World War I, he was underage. But Grandpa signed for him so he could go. And he ended up in an artillery unit. And when they were training, they dug holes all over, I think it was Louisiana, foxholes. And he vowed that whenever they got overseas, he'd not dig another foxhole. And he and a buddy, on the first night they stopped, they hid behind a tree.
Okay.
All the next day, there was rifle fire hitting that tree.
That's great. Great story.
From that time on, if they slowed down, they dug a foxhole.
Great story. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, what we're going to do is pause this for tonight, but I would like for you guys to think, and I'm talking not only just the first cousin, I'm talking about down to our generation and below, Clay, Alyssa, any of you guys, Jerry, Gerald. What we really want to do is to have, just a video record, kind of like Frank. We're showing Frank's video of the. Sorry, I'm going to turn you off.